Loner Kyotaro is considered a troubled student who fantasizes about his classmates, but over the course of a school year he has begun to grow closer to his popular classmate Anna. Although Anna is considered a cool beauty at their school, they frequently find themselves in close situations with each other, which has revealed to Kyotaro her more childish side. As they grow closer, Kyotaro stops becoming suspicious of her and her intentions and starts to look forward to going to school to see her. Eventually, he gains the courage to tell her that she is the reason he has been able to enjoy going to school again, after he lost all his friends from his previous school since he had to move. Later in the school year, Kyotaro is back in class with Anna, but his arm is broken, making it hard for him to do normal school stuff. The teacher suggests he ask someone in class to help out. When the teacher points out that Anna could help, Kyotaro feels embarrassed and says they're not really friends. But Anna overhears and feels hurt, so she avoids him for a while. After a bit, Kyotaro apologizes to Anna, saying he didn't mean what he said to the teacher. He was just worried about bothering her. But Anna says it's okay and she wants to help. They make up, and Kyotaro agrees to let Anna help him. For 3 weeks, Anna helps Kyotaro with studying, taking notes, carrying his stuff, and even in home economics class. One day, Kyotaro sees some boys with an idol magazine and is surprised to see Anna in it. They talk about it, and Kyotaro says as long as she enjoys it, it's cool with him. Later, Kyotaro accidentally lets slip that his broken arm is partly Anna's fault, which upsets her. The next day, Anna loses her favorite keychain, and is really upset. Her friends help look for it, but Kyotaro finds it hanging on a tree branch. Since they're close to Anna's house and it's snowing hard, she invites him over to warm up. At Anna's house, Kyotaro dries off and takes a bath. Anna gives him clothes to change into, but forgets his underwear. Kyotaro feels awkward wearing just a tracksuit. When he tries to get his underwear, Anna's dog nearly pulls his tracksuit off. After some struggles, he gets everything sorted out. They take a break and have hot pot for dinner, looking at Anna's yearbook. While reminiscing, Anna confides in Kyotaro about feeling guilty for causing trouble to others in her life. She worries she's selfish and takes advantage of people's kindness. Kyotaro comforts her, reassuring her that if people were tired of her, they'd tell her directly. Anna's mom comes back, so they hide Kyotaro since he's a boy. After some close calls, Kyotaro sneaks out without Anna's mom noticing. On his way out, Anna's dad sees him wearing Anna's tracksuit. He washes it at home and returns it later. After a while, Kyotaro's cast is off and his voice has deepened. He's nervous about it, but Anna encourages him to say her name a lot in his new voice. Valentine's Day is coming up, and the girls in Anna's class are deciding how to celebrate. They plan to meet at Anna's house to make chocolates together. Anna invites Kyotaro, but he's not sure if he's welcome. When they get to Anna's place, her mom welcomes the girls warmly but seems worried about Kyotaro. To ease the tension, Moko pretends Kyotaro is her boyfriend, which calms Anna's mom but makes Anna jealous. They start making chocolates and talk about what Anna likes to eat, to give Kyotaro ideas for White Day. Moko's behavior with Kyotaro starts annoying Anna, making things awkward. Kyotaro decides to tell Anna's mom the truth, that he and Moko aren't dating. They return to the kitchen to find the girls scared of Anna's big dad, but he turns out to be friendly and plays video games with Kyotaro. After tasting the chocolates, they leave Anna's house. Anna admits she's happy Kyotaro came over. At home, Kyotaro's sister teases him about being surrounded by girls and asks when he'll ask Anna out. Kyotaro talks with his sister about his chances with Anna, and feels down, but he confesses he's in love with Anna and wants to be her boyfriend. On Valentine's Day, Anna is thrilled to get free chocolates from other girls. At the library, Anna and Kyotaro invent a game called Chocolate Shogi. Anna uses it as an excuse to give Kyotaro lots of chocolate. After school, Kyotaro gives Anna a ride on his bike. They stop at a convenience store for a snack. While eating chocolate, Kyotaro gets some on his face. Anna wipes it into a heart shape before they part ways. Later, they meet again, and Kyotaro gives Anna chocolate as a gift. In the evening, Anna visits Kyotaro's house under the pretext of walking her dog. They spend time together and chat. Kyotaro notices Anna acting differently all day. Anna asks if Kyotaro got chocolate from anyone, but he says no. He asks if she gave any chocolate, and she says she only wants to give heartfelt ones, not obligatory ones. Then, she gives Kyotaro homemade chocolate for Valentine's Day, and he realizes her romantic gesture. After tasting it, he says it's delicious, and they hug. The next day, the boys discuss what to get the girls for White Day. Kyotaro admits he got chocolate on Valentine's Day. At the end of the school day, Anna and Kyotaro walk home with their arms linked. Anna drops hints that she wants Kyotaro to go see a movie with her. When Kyotaro catches on, he agrees to go with her. On their way to the theater, they bump into Kana, who's selling takoyaki. Kana says they're on a date, but Kyotaro denies it. While eating, Anna invites Kyotaro to watch one of her photo shoots to show him different sides of herself. After they finish eating, Kyotaro gives Anna the last takoyaki. They watch the movie together, and Kyotaro sees a new side of Anna. He's impressed by how genuinely excited she gets about things she loves. On the way home, they play shiratori. On Sunday, Kyotaro goes to Anna's photo shoot for the first time. When he arrives, he feels a bit nervous and thinks about leaving because everything seems busy. But Anna convinces him to stay and watch. He watches the photo shoot, and Anna's manager tells him that Anna really likes him. The manager asks if Kyotaro knows their relationship might affect Anna's work. Kyotaro clarifies they're not in a relationship yet, saying he deeply respects her. They go home, and Kyotaro shows Anna a picture he took of her, saying she looks beautiful. Kyotaro's teacher asks him to give the farewell speech for the graduating class and represent their class. He's not sure he's the right person for the job, but his classmates disagree. They point out his high exam scores, and Anna's hopeful expression makes him feel pressured. Feeling unsure, he reluctantly agrees to be the class representative for the rehearsal. During practice, Kyotaro is very shy, speaking quietly and rushing through his speech. He's embarrassed by his performance and thinks he won't be chosen for the real thing. However, Anna wants him to do it and even gives him voice lessons to help. Encouraged by her support, he decides to impress her with his speech. After a haircut and lots of practice, Kyotaro feels as ready as he can be for the graduation speech. Anna and her friends help him get ready and fix his hair. Just before the ceremony starts, Kyotaro realizes he lost his speech and panics. Anna notices his worry and reassures him that everything will be okay. When it's time for his speech, Kyotaro gathers his courage and gives it his all. Even though he didn't have a prepared speech, he manages to overcome his fear and delivers a good one on the spot. His speech impresses the audience, and they applaud him. Afterward, Kyotaro feels exhausted and nervous, so he goes to the school nurse to rest. Meanwhile, Anna is approached by Haruya, who confesses he likes her. She appreciates his feelings, but tells him she likes someone else. Kyotaro realizes she means him, but they both feel embarrassed and walk away from each other. Kana embarrasses Kyotaro by playing a recording of his farewell speech and jokes about girls crushing on him. After class, Anna and her friends join the boys' basketball team for karaoke. Feeling jealous, Kyotaro follows and gets dragged into singing by some girls. But he feels out of place and leaves, with Anna following. They end up in a separate karaoke room and have a chat. Anna senses that Kyotaro followed her but isn't bothered. The next day, Hara and Kanzaki invite Anna and Kyotaro on a double date to a sweets buffet. Hara and Kyotaro meet up in Harajuku to discuss what gifts Kyotaro should get for Anna on White Day. When Anna and Kanzaki join them, they do some more shopping before eating. Anna gets jealous when she thinks Kyotaro called Hara cute. Kanzaki gives Hara his present, and they head home. While walking, they split up, and Anna and Kyotaro have crepes together. On the train back, Kyotaro asks Anna to sit with him at the station. When they sit down, he gives her a muffin for White Day, which makes her very happy. Inside the wrapping, she finds a bracelet and asks Kyotaro to put it on her. He says she looks so cute he could die, which makes her cry tears of joy. Adachi talks to Kyotaro about the gift he got for Sekain, and asks for help delivering it. But when the girls arrive, Kyotaro accidentally puts it in Anna's locker. Adachi comes back and, as his mom asked, thanks Sekain for her chocolates. Later, Anna and Kyotaro play basketball just for fun. After winning, Anna asks if she can call Kyotaro Kaio as a nickname. On Kyotaro's birthday, they walk home together at night and meet Kyotaro's dad. He tells Anna about the birthday party, and Kyotaro invites her. Anna meets Kyotaro's parents, and they all have sukiyaki for dinner. Then they sing Kyotaro happy birthday and give him a cake. Kana invites Anna to sleep over, surprising Kyotaro. He's flustered but tries to stay calm. During the night, Anna and Kyotaro share some amazing and have a deep conversation. Anna comforts Kyotaro when he opens up about his insecurities. They talk about their families for hours before finally going to bed. In the morning, Anna and Kyotaro get ready for the day. Anna wonders whether to come up with a nickname for Kyotaro, or just call him by his first name. Later, Anna goes to a photo shoot in Hiroshima, while Kyotaro spends the day at a cherry blossom viewing party with friends. At the park, they talk about a scandal involving an idol. Back home, Kyotaro checks Anna's social media. He notices she's wearing the gifts he gave her, and some of her posts hint at their relationship. He worries this could hurt her career since they haven't officially announced their dating. He also sees a fan has noticed. During a video call, Kyotaro warns Anna to be careful. Suddenly, something startles Anna and the call cuts off. With no response from her for a day, Kyotaro gets anxious and goes to Anna's house. Anna's dad lets him in, and they have tea. Anna calls home and explains she dropped her phone in water after her mom startled her. Realizing she has a message for Kyotaro, her dad calls her back. Anna clears up the misunderstanding, and both she and Kyotaro tell her parents they like each other romantically. The parents are supportive. The next day, Kyotaro checks Anna's social media and sees the obsessive fan claiming they met Anna. Worried, he meets Anna and her friend for ramen. To his surprise, he realizes the fan is Anna's friend, Nico. Knowing this, he stops worrying. On the train ride home, Anna and Kyotaro agree to be careful about public displays of affection and what they post online. Kyotaro and Anna start their third year of middle school. Happy to see each other, they hold hands, which gets them some disapproving looks from the rest of the class. Most of Anna's friends and Kyotaro are in the same homeroom, but Kai isn't sure which class she's in. After checking with the office, they're relieved to find out Kai is also in Anna's class. After class, Anna gives Kyotaro a wallet chain as a gift. While she's helping him put it on, 3 other girls come in. To avoid being seen together, Anna and Kyotaro hide. Once the girls leave, Kyotaro accidentally gets his pants pulled down when he stands up. Sekine comes back, sees the situation, and is shocked. She says she won't cover for them anymore. After school, the boys walk home, and Kyotaro is asked about his feelings for Anna. He says he's glad they're in the same class because they're good friends. Another day, Anna and Kyotaro spend time together at the library, talking about how they've grown, and their height changes. Despite considering confessing to Anna, their time together is interrupted when Yurine walks in. The next day, Kyotaro sits in the back of the class, and Yurine changes seats so Anna can sit next to him. To keep their classmates from guessing, Kyotaro tries to keep his distance from Anna. After class, he finds a note Anna wrote for Yurine. It says they're not a couple yet, and that Kyotaro is really shy. Anna doesn't need help with their relationship. Embarrassed by the note, Kyotaro also feels more determined to ask Anna out. With 19 days left until the sports festival, Kyotaro's class gets ready for the big day. A classmate asks Kyotaro to join the cavalry event team, but he's not sure if he's right for it. Kyotaro remembers last year's sports festival, when he got hurt saving Anna from falling. Anna notices the scars from his injury and apologizes. Seeing how close Anna and Kyotaro are, Adachi realizes they're in love. Driven by his own feelings, Adachi challenges Kyotaro to a one-on-one duel in the cavalry event. Kyotaro agrees and starts training. While training at the park, Kyotaro meets Anna and they talk. Anna invites Kyotaro to train at her house with her equipment. On the day of the sports festival, Anna and Kyotaro have a blast doing the different events. When it starts raining, the cavalry battle begins. Kyotaro and Adachi have a serious talk about their feelings for Anna and end up falling off their teams, so they go to the nurse's office. Anna comforts Kyotaro and they have lunch together. She tells him he looked really cool. Because of the hot summer weather, Anna changes into her summer uniform. Kyotaro helps her fix her skirt at her request, but accidentally embarrasses them both. Their teacher brings up the school trip to Kyoto, and Nara, and everyone decides on roommates. At home, Kyotaro notices that Anna has been acting strange and avoiding him since the trip was announced. On the day of the trip, the class takes a Shinkansen train. During the ride, Yurine tells Kyotaro that Kana is trying to pair him and Anna up. To avoid interference with his confession, Kyotaro keeps his distance from Anna and Nara. He meets Chihiro, who says Anna is pretending to be excited, and chose this. Later, after the bath, Kyotaro hears Anna practicing lines from a manga. Remembering Chihiro's words and seeing on her phone that she had an audition on the same day as the trip, Kyotaro finally understands why she's upset. Anna skipped the big acting audition to go on the trip and convince herself she's having fun. He realizes she chose the trip for him. Feeling regret for keeping his distance, Kyotaro tries to talk to Anna, but their teacher catches him. Anna pretends he's a girl, and they end up in the girl's room, leaving Kyotaro shocked. Trapped in the room, Kyotaro is scared of getting caught, and tries to stay quiet. He listens as the girls chat about the kind of guys they like. With the lights off, Anna suddenly grabs Kyotaro, surprising him. They almost kiss, but Kyotaro manages to compose himself and tells Anna they need to talk. Anna jumps up in shock, almost giving away their hiding spot. Just when they're about to be found, Kenta shows up outside the room with a rope made of bed sheets. Everyone's surprised, and the girls run to the teacher screaming. In the chaos, Anna and Kyotaro slip out unnoticed. The next morning, they walk through a set of gates and have a chat. Anna asks if Kyotaro is having fun, and he says yes. He then asks if she's having fun, but she starts crying and admits the audition is weighing on her. Summoning courage, Kyotaro confesses his feelings to Anna. He tells her she helped him come out of his shell and see the wonders of the world. After confessing, Kyotaro urges Anna to go to her audition, saying there's still time and she can still get the role. The trip ends, and Kyotaro gets some souvenirs for his family. Back home, Anna suggests meeting at their usual spot. Kyotaro figures out she means the school library. There, Anna tells Kyotaro he's everything to her, and that she loves him. Then she kisses him on the cheek, leaving him blushing. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.